Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I'm just heading up towards the cattle. I've been doing a few jobs back at Mary's farm. What is that? Oh, it's barbecues. I wonder what those little red things in there were. They're just barbecues lying around. Yeah, so if you take a look at the map here, I've actually done a couple of jobs over here on Mary's farm, and what I've decided is that I will start doing on this map what I've been doing a little bit lately on Sosnyovka. I will try and do at least a few contracting jobs in between episodes. Now, most likely it'll be in between each week's set of episodes, because that's just the way that it'll work out a little better for me. So I did a few jobs, and we are now up to $226,000. I was asking you last week, just as an extra question, whether you thought I should go and buy Field 6 straight away or leave it for a bit longer, and I had a varied response on that. Quite a few people did seem to think that buying Field 6 early would be a fairly good thing, and also quite a few people seem to think that waiting would be quite a good thing. So I'm going to go up there now, and we're going to take a look at the price. But before we do that, my weekly question that I asked you last week, the proper weekly question, I know I'm driving over the verges and the pavements here, it's not really the done thing, but it's the quickest way to get around, and I'm wanting to quickly look at things. I'm going to be buying this field here, field 27, because eventually I'd like to put this one into grass. I think it would be better. That's $371,000. This is going to be one of the fields that I work on a regular basis in between episodes in order to bring the price down so that I can eventually buy it. And I may very well buy this one here as well, field 25, and then we'll join them in together. And I will probably just put them as permanent grass. I think permanent grass would be a good thing, because we can always bale them up and we can sell the silage bales. Having the grass there, we can mow it, we can turn it for hay for the cattle, we can have fresh grass a little bit if we want it. This one over here is another $243,000. So none of these fields are cheap, but that's okay, we can sort of live with that. So anyway, my question that I asked you all last week was, do you want me to buy cows or do you want me to buy pigs first? I am going to be doing at least 100 episodes on this map now. Right? That is a long time to be spending on any one map. And the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people have been requesting that I spend a lot longer on at least one series. Because most channels, they tend to move on after 40 or 50 episodes so that they can experience all the new maps and cover all the new stuff. And you know, that's great and all, but I've had a lot of people saying they'd really like me to get stuck in on just one series and really explore what we could do sort of later in the game. And so I've agreed I'm going to do that on this map, which means that we need to really sort of increase the amount of different things that we do, because at the moment we have been a little bit limited, I feel. And I was only planning to do at most maybe 50 episodes. So I asked you last week, did you want me to go into cows first or pigs first? I will be getting both lots. I will be getting cows and pigs eventually, but I'll get one of them fully established before I get the other one. So I had 2,488 people answer that question, which was a huge number of people. Thank you very much for everybody that responded. And of that, 344 of you thought that perhaps pigs was a good idea, and 2,144 said cows. Now, the main reason that most people seem to be going for cows, right, this will take 23 minutes to harvest, and we get 9,500. If we buy the field now and we do it ourselves, 88,000, we wouldn't get quite that much, I don't think, but we would then have to drag our combine up here and deal with it all. So I'll leave it for a minute. I'll probably harvest this one off screen, and then we can plant it with what we want afterwards. I think that would be a better way of doing it, but I think I will buy that one fairly soon. And then we could very well end up putting that one into Poplars as well as Field 1, because I did originally say Field 1 or Field 6. But now I'm thinking, as we've got the money, and, you know, we're going to be getting the gear and everything, I think we will get both of them, and we'll do both of them for Poplars. But that will be... I'll be doing that as soon as I've been able to buy the forager. And that... Well, it might take a little while. I'm going to be earning some more money off screen as soon as I can. I've got a few other things that I want to do first. And we'll get to that. Now, one of those things that I'd like to do first, today I am going to go and get a trailer to pick up the bales. It's going to be an Autoload trailer. I I asked as like an extra thing last week what you thought of Autoload trailers, and I was quite surprised that not a single person said they don't like the idea of me using an Autoload trailer. If I was to go and get this Frithgar here, which has an Autoload script with it, and I use that to go and pick up the bales. Now, a couple of people suggested what they do is they use something like the Ursus here. They gather up the bales and they take them to the edge of the field into a heap, and then they go for the Autoload trailer from there, so it saves them having to use the telehandler, which is an excellent idea. And I actually implemented that idea into the time-lapse series just recently. And so I'm kind of umming and ahhing about that. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking at the moment that I won't. I'll leave the Ursus out of it just for this time, but we may end up bringing it in and using it like that next time, so that we're not sort of doing too much unrealistic stuff with an Autoload, but we do at least avoid having to use the telehandler in the horrible bits, which, it's the bits that I really don't like doing, is using the telehandler to handle bales on a large scale. I've done it so much in real life. I've had enough of it, and I don't really want to do it on screen as well. But because we're going to be getting that one, and I'm also, at the moment, let's have a look in animals. We've got this Joskin trailer, we've got this one leased. I'm going to be returning that one, and I'm going to be getting that one there. Look at that bad boy there. Hang on, back. So yeah, this bad boy here is quite impressive. It does cost $7,372 initially lease, and it's only $670 per day, and then whenever we use it, it's a little bit more. But I mean, that's not a huge amount of money, so it's quite a realistic thing that we could do. I'm going to do that. I was asking you the question on Sosniovka. I'm not giving you the option here. It's happening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to find a way to deal with that, because that's happening. We're going to get that one. I was actually thinking about this one here, the 28-foot one. I'm not sure how many this one uses. I think this is sort of halfway between the two. And someone did say that there was another one somewhere, but I haven't seen it yet, or at least not on Mod Hub. I'm going to start looking further afield for mods. The problem with likes of Mod Hoster is that some of the mods that they release are only put through a third-party downloader, and those third-party downloaders, they run some, the adverts on the sides of the screens are not suitable for work, and they're not suitable for children. And that's fine. Yes, I could run an ad blocker, but I know that not everybody runs ad blockers, and I know that there are children that watch the series. So I'm going to try to avoid at all costs using any mods that force me to go through that kind of third-party downloader, so that nobody following my links is going to find any kind of unsuitable material. So I'm going to try to limit that. I might sometimes have to do it, but I will try to avoid it at all costs. That's just something that I would like to do. I don't feel comfortable providing links to stuff that isn't suitable for work or children. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'd like to buy a lorry, or rather, as we're in the States, a big rig or a truck or a semi. You've got all sorts of different names for it. Now, I realise that this lizard here, the SX210, and this TX415 Barrelcore, I believe these are based off of, is it a Peterbilt and I don't know what the other one is. I can't actually remember. But that's what they're based off of. And then there's a modded one here which actually has a second axle on the back. Now those are the US type ones with the long bonnets, and it's very common in the US. Over here in Europe you see this flat bonnet a lot more frequently. However, I have noticed, I'm doing some research, there are quite a few older varieties of lorries, and you do still get them. I'm sorry, I always refer to them as lorries. It's just how I do it, because a truck is what I've been driving around. This to me is a truck. Pickup, yes, but it's a truck. So calling this a truck at the same time, I know they've even listed them under trucks, but I've always referred to them as a lorry. So I know that some people don't like it, but generally I probably will refer to them as lorries. I was wondering which one I should get. Now, that MAN there, you do actually get these in the States. I have done a bit of research, and they're not very common, but they do turn up in the States. So this one here has just a little flat tipper, but it doesn't have anything to tow on behind it, I don't think. You've got all extras, protection bar, additional lighting, and standard. Then you've got the wheel setup, but I don't think it has a rear attacher hitch. I haven't actually looked, but I don't think it does. And even if it does, it's not really one that we want. So that one's out of the equation. This one here does look very cool. You've got design. I have no idea what that means. Engine setup is just a bigger engine, I believe. So that one, yeah, that one's going to go. That's going to be out as well. You got the attachers. That's the back attacher is one that I want. It's basically so that you can tow a different type of trailer. Then you've got the IT runner one as well. That one's also out of the equation for today. So really, it's between those four there and that extra lizard mod there. We've got the standard lizard SX210 Twinstar. You've got the Phoenix 6x6 Agro-Truck. Now this one is a beast of a tractor. It's like a tractor lorry almost. And then you've got the MAN 18480. And this one here, he's a beauty. This one is. I like that one. You probably can tell by now. So that one's 420. This one's 462 horsepower. This one's 480. This one's 535 horsepower. And then you've got the modded one with the extra axle over there. That is 420 again. So it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section, let us know which one you want and why. That is also today's topic of discussion. You've got 5 to choose from. You've got 3 lizards. You've got the Lizard SX310, the Lizard SX210, the Lizard TX415, or the MAN or the Phoenix. Yeah, we're going to get one of these because I'd like to do right. I've been talking about this for absolutely ages and I've done anything yet. So let's hurry up and get back to the yard, and then we can get our tractor. I want to get over to the dealership. I've got to pick up a trailer over there, and we need to get our bales in. So those 5 lorries, trucks, big rigs, semis, whatever you want to call them, those are the ones that we're going to pick from. The reason that I'd like to get one of those is, one, it's going to be quicker to do road work. We're going to get a trailer to go with it. I'm probably actually going to go and get the mod that allows the, you know, the big cramp trailer. Is it cramp or crampy? I will show you very quickly the one that I mean. You probably know already which one I mean. Now, if you have a look through here, we've got a few extras. We've got a load of mods here now. All of these mods so far, they're just ones from the mod hub. I download pretty much everything that turns up from the mod hub, so that's where I get them all from. But this one here, $78,000 to buy. It's a 59,000 litre, but it doesn't have a back attacher hitch. And so there is a mod available. I use that mod a huge amount in FS15, especially in my time-lapse series, to run a road train. Basically, it puts a rear attacher hitch onto that trailer so that you can tow more than one. Incidentally, I finished off the baling in this field, so we've got a whole load of bales that we need to pick up now. And that is what we're about to go and do. I'm going to unhitch that baler really quickly, and then we're going to rush over to the shop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoops. Okay, that's what you get for driving too fast. Going to pick object too heavy. Right, that one's just going to have to stay there for now. And this one here, it did a great job. I was really pleased with this one. The Kuhn Progressive Density VB2190. Excellent little baler. That was a wonderful machine. I was really pleased with that. I was pleased with performance. General, all-round good egg. So we'll bring that one over here and reverse that back into the shed up here. So that one is done. We're going to now zip over to the shop, and I'll get the trailer that I want to get, and I'm also going to get a dolly so that we can attach it with the tractor. And then, obviously, so probably actually that's going to be one of the next things we get is the lorry. And the reason that I want to get the lorry is because we've got these 3 fields here. We are going to be buying field 6 fairly soon. I'll probably do a couple of extra jobs so I can afford that one and lorry. And I possibly have bought another field by the time we're able to afford the forager. I want to get some cows as well. The cows we're gonna have to wait maybe another week to get them. I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite figured out my timescale yet on how we're going to do this. Whether I do the cows first and then get the lorry, but basically what I want to do is all the fields that we own once we've got the lorry. Better turn my beacon on. All the fields that we own once we've got the lorry, I am going to put maize silage. So I'll grow corn in all of them, every single field, corn right across the board. And once I've got the corn there, we're going to do a silage harvest. So we need to wait until we've bought the forager in order to be able to do that. we'll do a silage harvest, and that's why I want the lorry, because I have seen here in the UK it's not that common, but it does happen in some places where you use a lorry to tow the trailer to go back and forth. Normally you would use tractors. However, in the US I've seen so many videos of people using semis, big rigs, trucks, whatever you want to call them, in the field, bringing silage back to the clamp. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to use a truck, semi, big rig, lorry, however you want to call it, to tow the trailer to do our silage with. So I'm hoping that by the time we're ready to start doing our silage, we'll also have bought the £300,000 field that's down here by the cows. And so we'll do that one, and we'll do the other fields that we own. So it's field 1 right up at the top, plus the 3 fields around our first yard, and the one down here. So we're going to have a lot of road work. If we've got a lorry that can do that road work for us, it's going to be so much faster, rather than trying to do it with a tractor. So that is my plan. That's kind of one of the long-term plans that I'm sort of putting in place. And it looks like, I mean, even if we take an average off of this, we're spending around about $150,000 on a truck, and then I'm looking for animals. That's the one I want. Yeah. So no, I don't. I'm after the baling technology at the moment. Yeah. So we've got that, and we've got the £88,000 field up the top, and select right attachers, standard plus back attacher. Right, we'll definitely take a back attacher on that one, and we take wide tyres. I always like to get the wide tyres because it reduces compaction on the fields. Does increase the cost a little bit, but it's definitely worth it for reducing those compaction issues that you can get. So we get one of those. We're not going to get 2, we'll just get the 1, and I'll back out of there, and then I need to go to dollies. I really don't know what the difference is between these two. What is the advantage of having the extra wheel on the front dolly? If anybody knows, let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, we're just going to go for this one today. So we get that one, and lease. Only 9. Oh, hang on. No. I need wide tyres. Lease. There we go. Okay. Back out of there. So there is our trailers. Only cost us $3,000 to get these. For our trailer and our dolly. Perfect. So yeah, that's my medium-term plans. I'd like to do silage right across the board with maize, corn silage, maize silage, whichever you want to call it. And I'll fill up the clamp. Well, I won't fill it right up, but I will put quite a bit in the clamp that's by the cattle, because obviously we're doing cattle first. And then I will put the rest of it in the biogas plant. So the biogas plant is going to have quite a lot of silage going in, especially if we are actually able to get the field near the cattle as well, because that field will then go to the clamp by the... Oops. There. That is field 27. So field 27 will fill up the clamp for the cattle. That will take care of that one. So then field 1, 6, 12, 14 and 15, which is the other fields that we will own by that point, possibly even field 11 as well, because I'm considering getting that one. Although I'm not sure at the moment. We might just buy like some small fields somewhere. We'll see how things work out. Those ones, they will all be transported to the McLean biogas plant, which is going to involve quite a bit of road work, which is why the truck is going to come in real handy for doing that. And I think we'll get a pretty good yield, because when we did it last time, we did field 15 and field 14, didn't we? And we didn't put... Did we get anything extra to put in there? I don't think we did. I think it was mostly just off of those 2 fields. And we had quite a bit. So if we're getting all of field 1, 6 and 12 as well, there's loads of extra stuff that we're going to be getting. That's going to be a huge amount of silage that we're going to have. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah, I'm quite excited about that. It's going to be a huge amount of silage, and then we'll be able to set up our conveyor belts. We'll set up a string of conveyor belts, and they can just sort of pour silage continuously into the bins until it's all gone. We should be getting a massive amount of money from that. Right, if you have a look, this dolly is behaving a little bit funny. It's doing some slightly odd things. Now, I don't know if that's just because of this trailer, or if it's because it's the single wheel, or what. There's something does seem to be a little bit off about that dolly. Maybe it wouldn't be doing that if we had the other one. I'm just going to go straight across the field here. The next thing that we're going to need to do is to buy the cultivator and the Amazon seed drill so that we can get these fields planted. So we're going to have to use a big chunk of our money for that. Although we're not actually buying them, are we? We're leasing them. So that should make a big difference. Now, this trailer here is actually fairly simple to use. It's quite straightforward. You've got work position. If you look down the side, from the top, you've got stop engine, detach, exit vehicle, change tool selection. Obviously we know that one. Fasten tension belts. Now, I've found that when you auto-load the trailer, the tension belts, they'll go along the bottom. They don't go up over whatever has been loaded onto the trailer. I think that's an intended thing because the bales that you put on by auto-load, they lock onto the trailer and they won't slip off. Then you've got work position, and finally you've got Z where it says square bales. If you press Z, it actually changes. You've got round bales 1.3 metre, which is these ones here, the standard round bales. 1.4 metre coming soon. Now, do you remember the Krone Ultima in FS15? That one could produce varying sized bales, and I think there were some other mods as well that could do that. Because we don't have any yet, they've basically included it in the script, but we don't have the bales yet, which I think is absolutely fantastic, that level of forward thinking. So you've got those two levels of bales there. HD bales. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Whether it's a high definition bale or a high density bale. Either way, I really don't know what HD bales are and what mod would produce them or why. What would be the advantage of that? So then you've got pallets, so we can do pallets of wool. You can also go to the shop and you can buy the pallets of saplings. So we'll probably be using this trailer to take pallets of saplings up to field 1 when we're planting all the poplars up there, which would be brilliant. And then you're back to the square bales again. So we're going to go for round bales, 1.3 metre, standard rounds. And I'll get rid of the thing here. And then you press X to put it into work position, and it just starts loading. There's no speed limit on this one. There used to be, on the auto-load trailers that I used, a bit of a speed limit, which was great and all, but it was a little bit frustrating sometimes when you're driving around the field. You do have to go closer with this one than you did with some of the older ones. But generally, it's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with this trailer. Having used it a bit in the time lapse, I can honestly say that it's not. I don't have any problems with it. Actually, I got a feeling that the time lapse where I've used this one is actually the one that's going to be coming out on Wednesday. So, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler alert. I have just told you some of what I'll be doing on Wednesday's episode. You probably guessed that because on Sunday's episode I got a huge amount of bales and they are scattered all over the fields at the moment. Actually, no, I didn't. I gathered that's where I used the Ursus, and I gathered them all to the edges. So I've still got to bring them back to the yard. So that's the spoiler alert. I used this trailer to do it, and it works beautifully. So, yeah, this bit here, I suppose, is not quite as realistic as it could be. It might work better if we were to use one of the bale gatherers, like the Ursus, to, or even that Ballon Boy that we were testing last week, to just put them, the bales, into groups anywhere in the field. You could put them in the middle of the field, on the edges of the fields, wherever, then go to them with the auto-load trailer to collect the bales afterwards. That would probably be a little bit more realistic than doing it like this. However, I don't think this is completely out of the question. It's not all bad. We already took some bales over where the pigs are, or going to be, and we've also taken bales over to where the cattle are going to be. So these we're just going to go straight to the sell point and we're going to sell them and make a huge pile of money, which will be the last thing that we do this evening. So then we will, well, it'll actually be the end of the episode. So I do apologise that I've spent most of this episode just talking and showing you machines in the shop. I do sometimes get a little bit carried away with that, as you probably know. But yeah, next episode we're going to have to. Now, see, I'm torn. Do I go straight to buying cattle? You know, I don't think I will. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to cultivate and plant these fields first. We've got to have our priorities. These are ready to plant, so that's what we're going to need to do first. And then once we've done that, then we can worry about the cattle if that's the next thing to do. But we've also got field 1, and if that one is ready to harvest, then we might need to do that one before we can get the cattle and then get that one planted. So I'm hoping to get some cattle this week, but depending on how the crops do, we might not be able to. So there we go. We now have a full trailer. That is fantastic. Look at that. Oop. I'm actually running out of time. We'll see if we can get the rest of the bales in. But there is a full trailer of bales. Absolutely brilliant. This tractor seems to do quite well with towing this trailer. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this tractor is only 32 miles an hour. The slightly bigger tractors, they do go up to 36 miles an hour, which would make it a little better. Now, this one here, I'm going to just show you one unload option just here so that you can see it in action. And I'll bring this one up. Let's just get rid of the map. There we go. So unload center. If you see on the side there now, you want to press B to unload center, or you can unload there, unload that side. That one unloads to the back, or you do it like that. I'm assuming that if you do it like, excuse me a minute. Okay, because I've been talking non-stop for nearly half an hour, my voice was starting to go. Right, the bales here, if we move them out on this side, it's probably the easiest way. That's what I've been doing, is I just stick them out to the side. But what you can do is, if you don't have any of them, they will unload directly onto the trailer. So let's just try that a minute. So you press B to select that, and if we press Y, it unloads them. So now those bales are loose on the trailer. So what we could do now if I try to fasten the tension belts, goes up over the bales and it holds them all in place. So you can use the auto-load feature to load them, and then you unload them onto the trailer, and you can stick the tension belts onto them. Now, if we go into the shed, you'll probably notice well, actually I won't tell you about that, but I know for a fact. And also, it's now heavier. It does seem to have actually put some weight onto it. Oh, crash. Whoa. Stop. Right. It doesn't like that at all. It's because of the tension belts on there. If I take those off... Right, we've got some major lag going on. Right, I take the tension belts off. The belts are all rolling off the back. No, this is terrible. Right, okay, let's load these bales back up. Oh, I can't believe that happened. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. So, yes, it's possible to have a complete and utter disaster with the bales. We'll go on through. I think I've actually got it set now that it's in work position. So it should pick these bales up. Let's go and catch them now. Yeah, so if you try to drive the thing in when you've got the bales with the tension straps over the... Right, it's not on loading. There, now it's loading. Then you do get a bit of a problem in that it lags out the game big time because of the way that the straps are sort of constantly having to adjust themselves, which is not a good thing. So try to avoid doing that. I would recommend you try to avoid doing that. And I'll show the other way that you can do this. If you bring the bales in like this, now we'll turn it off the work position. We've still got these few bales here. I can drive in and it won't do anything at all because it doesn't actually recognise that the bales are on the trailer, which is why if I was to fasten the tension belts now, I press L, it puts them underneath because it doesn't recognise that there are bales on the trailer. And it's also why this tractor doesn't struggle to pull it unless you unload on top of the trailer like I did just now. So if I remove those tension belts and then I unload, so it's already on unload center. Now I need to... Actually, how do I unload? It's Y. You press Y to unload. There. Instant sale while they're in here. So I'm going to go and get the rest of those bales, and I will... So we only get $250 a bale. That's not a huge amount, really, is it? For all our hard work. I suppose it's better than going backwards and forwards with the... Whoa! Okay, do not go round the corners fast with this because it will jackknife you and cause you a lot of problems. That is not a good thing to happen. So yeah, it was definitely faster, I think, than using the forage wagon that we got over there. But still not particularly quick. So I will pick up the rest of these bales. I will sell them at the beginning of the next episode just so that you can see it. My question for this week is, which truck would you like me to buy? Would you like me to buy the Lizard SX210? the Phoenix 6x6 Agro-Truck, the MAN TGS, the Lizard TX415, or the modded Lizard SX310. Now, it's basically exactly the same as the other one, except that it has a second axle on the back. So it's your vote, it's your game. Which of those 5 would you like me to get? Mouse over in the top corner up here so that you can cast your vote, and of course head into the comment section, let everybody know why you're voting for the one that you're voting for, and see if you can't persuade everybody else to vote for the same as you. I do apologise that I spent most of this episode just staring at new machinery and talking about future plans. I know it does happen from time to time. I do try to avoid it where I can, where I'm sort of... it's only when I realise that I'm actually doing it. I can talk for hours about nothing in particular. You've probably noticed that as well. So I will carry on and gather up these bales. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.